things.
Gross.
Very gross.
Ew.
Yeah, because my feet are all on it and I've used it outside.
Come and tap in with the Jacksons. We living, we learning, we laughing. No capping, we all about action, action, action. Yeah. Jesus is our main attraction. We glorify him with our passions. No capping, we all about action, action, action. Yeah.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
You know we about that action.
You know we about that action.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
You know we about that action.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Welcome back to
The Jacksons in action.
Woo, this is one of them nights where my wife
I'm delirious.
she got this ball of energy out of nowhere because she was really tired.
I was super tired. Then I ate.
Yep,
And
now she fully energized.
Yep, and I probably will crash after this.
Yes, we both need to crash because right now life is lifing. But you know what? God is still good. Through it all, man.
You know what? I don't know if life ever stops lifing. You just learn how to roll with the punches.
That's true. Life lifing and life not stopping lifing actually goes into what we're talking about now, today, because life been lifing. We have a different type of life for the past 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I feel like our life is even different than what it was three to 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because we now have a 6-month-old.
6 month old. Our baby girl is 6 months old. That's crazy, man. Time flies.
Yes. And so we want to talk to you guys about things that we've learned over these past 6 months of being parents. Because last time we talked about our baby girl, it was right after
she got here.
Yeah, it was right after she was born.
Yeah.
And she was like talking in the background. Oh my God, how
That's
old was
crazy.
she? That was like in November. So she was only a couple months old.
Probably a month.
And I just want to put it out there, y'all. This is just a PSA, a bonus tip for all my people who don't have no kids but want some kids, okay? Here's the deal. I always thought the toddler stage, you know I'm going to say.
Uh-huh.
I always thought the toddler stage started at 12 months. Like, toddler stage was like 1, 2, 3-ish. No, y'all. The toddler stage starts more like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like,
active.
She's very active. I was shook to my core.
Yeah.
One day, like she's been rolling for a while, like a few months now. But like there is this one day in particular that she was just super active. And like I used to like lay out some blankets on the floor and like set her down there. And like she would like roll over, but she would never really roll off the blanket until this one particular week. And y'all, I was sitting right next to her too. I was working on my laptop. And I look up and this girl done not only rolled herself off the blankets, but she had like rolled herself like across the room and was chewing on my yoga mat.
A yoga mat.
Of all things. Very gross. Yeah, because my feet are all on it and I've used it outside. Y'all, the way I jumped up so fast, like I had a toddler and was like, no. Get that out your mouth. Like, I literally felt like I was, like, screaming at a 1 or 2-year-old, not a 6-month-old. And, like, had to, like, run, pick her up, take it out of her mouth, and then, like, put her back on the blanket. And then that's when I was like, okay, we're going to set up this play yard this weekend.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, she ain't crawling just yet, but she can get to where she want to get to.
She gets around, y'all. She gets around.
She'll scoot and she'll roll her way to where she want to be. How you feel having a 6-month-old? How you feel?
Y'all, this 6 month has been trying to take me out. I'm not going to lie. Last time we were on here, I was like, oh my God. My baby. And I still feel that way. Yeah. But we just made it through the 6-month sleep regression, y'all. Y'all, that's no joke.
Praise God, we made it through.
At least for us.
I hope we did.
Every baby, no, we're on the other side in Jesus' name. Every baby's different, but for us, y'all, that sleep regression was about to take me out.
It was tough.
That was really tough.
It was really tough, and it's just
and then you were
in
sick,
that situation,
like, dealing with some like health issues too, so you weren't able to help me quite as much. So like I had to like take the bulk of it too.
Right, for real. My wife is super woman. You hear me? She is super woman, super mom, and it's special to see. You know, like she got that special. It's crazy. It just reminds me of how my wife has spoke about this before, but just how God just gives each of us, you know, male and female, just certain qualities that only, you know, that gender is meant to have, you know, and it's just so sweet just seeing just my wife's gentleness, you know, not saying that men can't be gentle, you know, because I consider myself a gentle man, especially towards my daughter, you know, but it's just like, just saying like, man, like, it's a only certain comfort that you can really get from a mother, you know, and just seeing that is just so special. And man, just seeing their bond, it's just something special. You know, I most definitely want her to be a daddy's girl, but I know she very much loves her mom, and that's because her mom does spend the majority of the time with her right now in this season. But I'm thankful for that. You know, I'm thankful
Thanks,
for
babe.
my wife. She's an amazing mother. But that leads me to something that's kind of been on my heart. I saw on social media, and it's something I saw that, you know, the way America is set up, you know, like, we got to work, you know, the majority of our lives. And a lot of times when a lot of people begin to have children, I mean, varies case by case basis, you know, people done had kids as young as 15, you know, and as old as 40, you know, but I would say the average is normally between like 25, 35. I'd probably say that's like the average age. People start having families, you know, begin having families. And, you know, those are normally years, unless you're just born rich, those are normally the years where you have to work
Where
super
you're like,
hard to like, you
you're
know,
building your
establish,
life.
you got to establish your career, just get your finances in order, all of that stuff, you know. And I saw a post where it was talking about, you know, the way society is set up. The majority of the parents, you know, miss the most critical years of their children's life, you know, that 1 to 10, because they're working so hard. And ever since I've seen that post, I've just been like praying, like, man, of course, you know, me and my wife are very hard workers. And I think that's something we talked about a little bit in one of our other podcasts, you know, about like in certain seasons where you got to work hard, where you got to do it. But I don't want to be doing that forever, you know, like even just as fast as these 6 months has flown by, like, it's like, man, I look back when she turned 6 months and we posted the 6-month pictures. I'm going back looking at the when she was born pictures and like, wow, like so much has changed, you know. But it's like, man, I really want to be there. I want to be able to have those moments every day, and we do. Thank God, we both work from home, so we're very active in her life, you know, and just getting to see her. But like, that's something that I want to keep in place, you know, where I never want to, you know, in these first 10 years of her life, be absent away from her more than I'm with her.
Yeah. I think one thing, a major thing I've learned since becoming a mom is better time management. And it's still something I'm working on. But like,
we're all working on it.
Yeah,
Time
we're all
management
working on
is
that.
a challenge, boy.
But like, I mean, you kind of have to. Like, the amount of responsibility that comes along with a baby, like, is ridiculous. You have to feed them. You have to change them, clean them, care for them. Like, they're relying on you for
their whole
everything.
existence,
Right. And so like, and that's on top of all the other responsibilities. That's on top of like having to cook and clean and like tend to my business and like just tend to myself.
Once again, shout out to my wife, Super Mama, because she's doing that.
But on that note, it was interesting because, well, two things. I was watching a YouTube video the other day about like just trying to get some tips on time management as like a work from home mom. And the lady was basically talking about how like she used to always struggle with like feeling like bad about how little time she has until she was a part of this like this group, this like networking group, this meetup kind of group. And she used to feel really bad about how little time she had until it dawned on her that she was consecutively more productive than all the people who didn't have kids. Like consecutively. And so here she was all this time complaining about how little time she was until she realized that because she had so little time, it actually made her more productive.
Wow.
But the kicker is a few days later, I came across this random video by like this mindset coach dude, entrepreneur, or like business coach guy on YouTube. And he mentioned this law called the Parkinson's Law. And basically the Parkinson's Law states that however much time you have is how much time you need to complete a task. So I'm going to say it again. However much time you have is how much time you need to complete a task.
That's deep.
And it's actually harder to complete a task when you have more time because our brains are wired
to like put you, oh, I got more time.
Yeah, your brain is wired to fill up however much time you have with whatever tasks you have. And so it was really relieving, and also kind of, it sucks too. Because it's like, oh, maybe I'm not just a terrible procrastinator. I mean, like, I still struggle with procrastination, but like, it just made me feel a little bit better about myself, because it's like, oh, well, when you work from home, you have all this time and you get to create your own schedule. And like, unless you have deadlines, like maybe that's why we wait till the last minute to reach deadlines. But also, it makes sense why all of a sudden, since I have a baby, I'm being way more productive than I was before, because now like every single day I have a deadline.
Right.
Like every single day there's stuff I have to do. And so like that's just kind of been my perspective here lately, because I literally have to be, is like there's a set of things that have to be done every single day. And it doesn't matter that I only have 24 hours, they have to be done. And on the flip side is like beyond just the basics, like there's things that God's put in my heart that I want to do. And then there's also other things that like other responsibilities I have outside of the basics of making sure my daughter's fed, I'm fed, you're fed, and like the basics of the house is clean and my job is, my work is done for my job. Like I want to be able to nurture our relationship. I want to be able to pursue the dreams and visions that God has given me and like the direction he's leading me into. Like I want to be able to make sure I'm intentional with Aaliyah and being present with her. I want to be intentional and present with my friends. Like there's so many other things I want to do. And like, basically my perspective has become like, well, just make it happen. Like create the time. Like not like, oh, I hope I can find the time. No, create the time. Because we all only have 24 hours, and you actually can do more with less time than you can if you have more time. So
that's so
create
good.
the time. Stop saying, oh, I don't have the time. No, create it. Like that's a huge thing I've learned, is it doesn't like once you become a mom, it's like it don't matter. Like just you have to get stuff done.
You have to, and that's crazy. That actually reminded me of something that a friend told me probably about a year or two ago now, and he was like, because he was saying, I was telling him like, man, I want to do this, but I ain't got the time, and it's like you're gonna keep saying that. You're gonna until you just start doing it. You're going to keep saying that, and I recently learned that. Too, when I started going to the gym, and then just a new habit I've been picking up. I've been trying to learn the guitar, and that was one of the things that I was talking to him about. I wanted to learn how to play the piano, and he was like, "Man, you're not gonna do it until you just start doing it. You're gonna always say, oh, you don't got enough time. You just got to make the time." And I've learned that, and as I've been trying to make the time, or making the time, not just trying to, like my wife said, making the time to do it. I've have progressed in my mind, where I'm like, I can do this. I just got to make the time for it. Like my wife said, we all got 24 hours. Now, you can't do a million things, all right? But it's certain things that God called you to do, or certain things that you may want to do that you can very well do. It's just going to take determination to do it, and discipline. Like for real, it takes a lot of discipline. Yeah, discipline and organization.
Yeah. And that's so good. That's so good. Well, is there anything else that you've learned? Because I had one other thing that I wanted to share, but is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I just want to talk about how, just cherish the seasons. We were just talking about this a little bit at dinner. We were talking about our nephew and just how much he's grown. We've like been active in his life since he's like one, and he's 5 now. And I mean, he's like big. I mean, this man getting taller, and just
his face is maturing.
Just maturing, and it's crazy. And we're like, man, I literally was there when shortly after you started to walk, and it's crazy. And I was just saying like, man, I'm not ready for my baby girl to grow up that fast, And so like, just be present. No matter where. This is encouragement to any parents out there. No matter how old your children are, your children may be adults, your children may be teenagers, your children may be what's the middle age after toddlers? Just kids.
Yeah.
You're kid age, 5 to 10, whatever you call that age before preteens. But be present, man, because like you literally not gonna get that time back. You know, I look at just like I was saying with the pictures. You know, we look at when our baby girl was born. You know, and she was just this small.
Yeah.
You literally can hold her with almost one hand. You know, like
No, you could hold her with one hand.
I'm
Now
not
you
gonna
can't.
get that back. You know, I'm not gonna get that back. You know, now she's 6 months and more pounds, and it's just like special. Just cherish it, man, because it's just something special. It's literally the highlight of my day, man. When I just wake up and because I'm always waking up after them, so when I just get to go down there and just hold her and just see her smile, it's just like. It just does something to my heart, man. It's just so special to where, like, it was one day my wife and her were actually gone and I didn't get to see them, you know, first day when I woke up and I was like, oh, man, like, my day fell off,
sad.
you know, because I'm like, man, I need to see my baby girl, you know. And so just cherish those seasons and make the time, for real.
And also remember, like, if you're in a hard season as a parent, like, it's so hard to keep this mindset, but please, like, try your best to remember that it's just a season.
Even in the hard seasons, that's good. That's a word to her because that sleep regression was hard on her.
Yeah.
But I kept saying, I was like, baby, it's just a season. It's just a season. And now look, we're on the other side of that.
Other side of it, yeah. So just stay encouraged that, like, it's just a season. Keep on seeking God because that's genuinely, like, how we came out of the sleep regression. Like, the Lord, like, gave me a random, what seemed like a random idea of something to try. Well, series of things. He was giving me a series of things, like of things I needed to do better and like switch up and whatnot. But then this one particular idea, and like that idea, like my technique of putting her to bed, of how to put her to bed and allowing her to like figure out how to fall asleep on her own, like not letting her cry, because we're not necessarily, we choose not to do the cry it out method. But just,
it's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's hard.
That just doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
But but still laying her down and giving her space to kind of figure out how to put herself to sleep, because that's what was happening. Was she would fall asleep in our arms, and then in the middle of the night, if anything would wake her up, she didn't know how to put herself back to sleep. And I noticed today, and part of it could have been how exhausted she was because we've had a crazy last few days. But she woke up a few times, but she put herself back to sleep. She was acting like she was about to like really start fussing and needing one of us to come in there, but she ended up putting herself back to sleep. Now, she could have just been exhausted, but I think it's also from this technique.
Practice,
I just really encourage you guys to really seek the Lord and keep on seeking him. Like, even if he doesn't give you the answer right away, like, keep on seeking him on how to handle each situation, because you can Google it, you can go to specialists, you can do all these things. You can ask your friends, your family, your mom, your dad, whatever. You can ask all these people, but ultimately,
what God gives you, what works for you is for you.
Yeah. And like, good. He's the one who created your baby too. Yeah. He's the one who created your child, no matter their age. And so he sees their deepest needs. And so, go to him. Be sure, like, in your quiet time, pray over the situation. At night when they're asleep, pray over them. Like, just really involve him in the parenting. And I think that's something we know, but sometimes it can be so easy. Sometimes you just need that reminder when we're in the thick of the struggle.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Really remember that every journey is different. And that's what somebody told me before. Like, another father was just telling me, like, hey, this works for us, but it's probably not going to work for you, you know? And so, like, this very important that you just seek God and just, you know, and talk with your partner, you know, your husband and your wife, and just realize what works for you all and what works for your child and go from there. And so, yeah.
Well, there is one last thing I want to say.
I thought that was the last.
No, it wasn't. I was piggybacking off of you.
Well, make it quick.
This is quick. But I just want to share a perspective with you guys. And this perspective was it came at such a much needed time, especially because I was like in the heartbeat of the sleep regression. I was exhausted. I was frustrated. I was irritated. I was just feeling a lot of emotions. And I happened to come across this video on Instagram. And the dad was basically talking about how It's no longer his and his wife's time to stay up late and sleep in. It's no longer their time to wake up to a quiet house. It's no longer their time to be able to take solo vacations. It's no longer their time to be just completely selfish. They've had their time to kind of live out those seasons of life, and they'll get those times again. But right now in this season, it's their job to create the best childhood possible for their children because they deserve it.
Yeah.
And I just thought that that was such a beautiful perspective, because I know sometimes, well, I can only speak for myself. Like, for example, when we're in the middle of the sleep regression, y'all, I'm not the nicest person when I get woken up. I've never have been. I hate being woken up. Like, I like my sleep. Don't mess with my sleep. And to be woken up so much, and for my sleep to be so interfered with, like, it made me a bit resentful and made me a bit like just angry and irritated. Like, man, like, I need my sleep. Like, give me my sleep. And you are interrupting my sleep. I'm with you all day long and you interrupted my sleep. That sounds terrible, but like when you're a bit sleep deprived, like
No, it's real.
You become
feel
not
it,
your
yeah.
best self. But this perspective was just so needed because it was like, Kelsey, you've had your time to sleep in. You've had your time to be able to sleep 10, 12 hours at nighttime. You've had your time to be able to wake up when you wanted to, have a nice, quiet morning, this, that, and the third. You've had your time to be your single self. And I'm not referring to like single, like
Right,
marriage wise,
for sure,
but just like where all I had to focus on was me. I've had my time and I will get that time again because there will be a day where my baby girl and my children won't be living in the same house. They'll be out doing what they do and I'm going to be home again alone. I'll have that season again. But right now, I'm in a season and it's not all, I don't want to say my entire life is about my child, but one of the biggest responsibilities I have right now is to create the childhood that this baby this baby deserves.
For sure.
Because she didn't ask to be here.
Right.
Like, we brought her into this world. And so it is our responsibility to give her the childhood she deserves. And this is a part of it. And so that means, like, when she wakes me up in the middle of the night, like, she's not a burden. This is a part of childhood. This is a part of developing. And so it's my job to, like, regulate myself, calm myself down, and take it to the Lord if I need to. And just remember that this is the stage and season I'm in. Like, I'm no longer in that season of getting to sleep however long or get uninterrupted sleep.
Right.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that perspective with y'all too.
No, that's a good perspective, for real. Like, the season that you're in, it's just a season, but you need to get what you need to get out of that season, you know, or give what you need to give in that season. And so
show up the way you need to show up.
Yeah, that's good. So, man, so that's a little bit about our journey as parents at this 6-month stage.
Yes.
Y'all already know what to do. Let them know what they need to do, baby.
Y'all already know. Be sure to like this video, leave a comment. What was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
Do y'all have kids? Let us know in the comments. Do y'all have kids? Do you want kids? Where are you at? Let us know in the comments. So we know whether or not this is relevant to you. And yeah, be sure to share this with somebody who could use it. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification because we're coming to y'all every other week.
Most definitely.
Yes.
We love y'all, man. And as always, remember to stay love driven. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.